What is happening, folks? This is Peter Modiba, and welcome to my channel. You know what it is. It is about that time. It is about that prime. It is prime time. I'm so excited for today's show. It's going to be really awesome, guys, and we're going to learn so much. It's truly going to be phenomenal. And you know what it is. It's all things mindset, productivity, and growth. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. And before we get into today's episode, let's take a look at my fitness progress for the week.
Whoa, my mind. I took them losses, now it's time to grind. Yeah, my mama told me never stay down. Yeah, turn back right, it's prime time. Prime time. Yeah, I took them losses, now it's time to grind. My mama told me never stay down. Yeah, turn back right, it's prime time. Prime time, oh, prime time.
Come on, guys. Listen, we are going for it. We are truly pushing, and we are going to the next level of prime time. But without further ado, let's hop in and let's jump into the topic of discussion for today. And what I want to speak to you guys about is called the compound effect. Yes, say it with me. Say the compound effect. And I actually want to give you guys a scenario. Let's say, for instance, I present to you two options. And the first option is I give you 3 million rand. And let's say the second option is I give you 1 rand, which will be multiplied twice for 31 days. And I want to ask you guys, which option would you actually take? Would you actually take the 3 million rand, which I'm going to give you right now? Or are you actually going to take the 1 rand, which actually multiplies twice for 31 days? And I'm sure the majority of you, when I actually presented the first option, you said, yes, I'm actually going to take the 3 million rand, right? Because who wouldn't want 3 million rand, just like that on the spot? It just seems like you just won the national lottery, right? And that's actually why I actually want to speak about this topic, the compound effect. Because if you were the person who fell into the first category of actually receiving 3 million rand, it's because you want actually, the 3 million rand is instant, right? It's instant. There's a lack of effort required. And obviously the monetary value which comes with it is exceedingly higher than actually the second option. But if you were actually part of the second category and the second option, you chose the second option, it actually means that you actually picked the right option. Because if you actually multiply 1 rand twice for 31 days, for an accumulation of 31 days, after 22 days, not even 31 days, but after 22 days, you get an amount which is over 4 million rand, right? So I'm sure the people who picked the first option were like, no, right? But if you actually multiply 1 rand twice for over 31 days, after 22 days, you actually get over 4 million rand. And this is what the compound effect is about. If you actually go read a book which is called The Compound Effect by New York Times best-selling author, his name is Darren Hardy. If you go read it, the book is actually, in summary, it's about actually focusing on consistently making small, significant choices which are aligned, right, to your core values or aligned to your vision. And actually, over a certain period of time, over a long period of time, what will happen is that those small significant choices which align to your core values will actually yield fruit. And what will happen is that will create momentum, which will lead to phenomenal results. And this is something which is in conjunction with a book which I read recently. This book, it's a very great book to read, when it comes to habit development and habit, definition and habit, sustainability and whatnot. But it's a book which is called Atomic Habits, which is written by author James Clear. And it's really just in conjunction, and it's very similar to what I read in the book. And this is what James James Clear actually says. He says, habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. The same way that money multiplies through compound interest, the effects of your habits multiply as you repeat them. They seem to make little difference in any given day, and yet the impact they deliver over the months and years can be enormous. Then he says, it is only when looking back 2, 5, or perhaps 10 years later that the value of good habits and the cost of bad ones becomes strikingly apparent. So this is so actually, very, very profound in what we call the compound effect. And you know what the problem with us is? If I'm being very honest with you guys, the problem with us is that we actually overestimate what we can do in a short period of time, and we underestimate what we can actually achieve over a long period of time. And if you actually look at a farmer, if we have a farmer, and I give an example of a farmer they've actually mastered what it means to actually live in the moment, and also just master in terms of trusting in the process, just living in the moment and trusting in the process. If you know about farming, is that it takes a very long period of time in order to see the fruit in which you want to see. And, what happens is that a farmer knows that if they plant a seed into the ground, it's not going to, yield fruit immediately. Nothing is going to happen, it's not instant. Nothing's going to happen at that moment. But over a period of time, as long as you're nourishing that seed, as long as you're taking care of that seed, as long as you're focusing on that seed, what happens over a long period of time? You yield a harvest, you yield fruit, you yield exponential growth. But when it comes to us, why is it we get sad, we get despondent, we become disappointed when we actually, when we just plant seed and we just don't see results in the moment? It's because you're not taking precaution, and you're not actually mastering the compound effect. You're not actually being patient, right? Somebody say patience. Patience is a virtue. We need to be patient, and you need to wait it out, but you need to just make sure that you're making small, significant choices which align to your core value, which align to your vision. And then you will see that, after doing that, right, what will happen is that momentum will start to take place. A snowball effect will actually take place, and you'll see that, it's like climbing upstairs. One step will lead to another step, will lead to a higher step, which means that you're growing in terms of altitude, But you guys have heard that saying, which says that your attitude determines your altitude. If you're going to have a bad attitude in terms of the choices that you make now, right, what's going to happen is that you're not going to actually go and grow in terms of your altitude and whatnot. And can testify to this. I can really testify to this, and I can really resonate so well, when it comes to the compound effect. And this, in terms of Primetime, this show, ever since it just started, I've experienced the compound effect, because when it started, it was not actually growing. When it started, not a lot of people were watching. When it started, it wasn't, that well known. It wasn't, let me, for lack of better words, it wasn't a thing. It wasn't a thing, but right now, what I'm experiencing is really great, because so many people are now connecting, so many people are watching, so many people the traction is growing. I've actually, I've met people, new people that actually want to, get more interested, in the show. I've met people that they've seen the show, and they texted me and they say, hey man, I've seen your show. Can you please help me? So I've had the privilege of actually consulting with everybody and just helping people. And, there was even, I can't mention, the person's name right now, because it's just, but there's even a celebrity who reached out to me on Instagram very recently, and, they just, and this person, I don't know, I think, she's followed by millions of people. I don't know, but, and verified. Some of you are like, is it verified? Yes, verified and whatnot. And she just reached out to me saying, Peter, this is, your show is awesome. Can I, get in touch with you? I'd like to learn more about, the show and how to go about things and whatnot. So it's really, really just been an awesome experience. And it's just a blessing just to help people, just to serve people, and just to really be at a place where I can be a conduit and just be used, So I want to encourage you, all of you guys, just make sure that you stick very, very firmly, to the choices in which you make, but just make sure that you have the compass of making sure that it's according to your core values and according to your vision. And as a Christian, a word in which or a scripture, might I just add, a scripture that really holds fast to me and something which I hold on to very much is Zechariah chapter 4 and verse 10, right? It's Zechariah chapter 4 verse 10, and it says, "Do not despise small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices when we begin the work," right? So it says don't despise small beginnings, but it says that the Lord rejoices when we see the work begin. So all of you that are watching right now, just start. Just start. And you know what? You don't have to, I say this a lot, but you don't have to be great to start. But you need to start in order to be great. And then what will happen? You'll grow in the process. You learn so much. You'll adapt. You'll adopt, and things will just become even greater because you actually, you are patient, right? You are patient, and just remember this as well. Let me just leave my 2 cents here. But remember that the ocean it started with just one drop of water, right? The ocean was just it's made up of many, many, many drops of water. And that's the same thing when it comes to our goals. It's the same thing when it comes to our actions. And it's the same thing when it comes to our lives. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for listening to today's episode on the compound effect. I really trust that it was really awesome, and I really hope that you guys actually took something from this episode. And if you want to, follow me on social media, you can do that. You can follow me on Instagram, which is my handle is Peter Modiba. It's at Peter Modiba. That's my personal account. And if you actually want to check out what's happening with the Primetime page and the Primetime account, you can follow us, which is Primetime_ZA. And if you actually, are a reader and you are actually interested in subscribing to my blog, you can also do that. I'll leave a link down below in the description so you can actually check it out. And this episode will definitely, it will also be there. But thank you guys so much for watching this episode. This is Peter Modiba signing out till we meet again. Cheers.